Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Roll the Tape. And today we are here talking about the film Saltburn. Shout out to my cousin Kyle for recommending this film. I gave it a watch today with some friends, and it's a very specific and kind of a grotesque kind of movie, but also it's a very interesting character study, for sure. It's 100% like a character study type film. I really enjoyed the cinematography and the acting and also the lighting design, and the production design as well, and the costume design. So there's a lot of technical things about this film that I really loved, like the acting from Jacob Elordi, as well as Barry Keoghan, Rosamund Pike. There's just a phenomenal cast, and everybody played their role so well. The characters were very well developed, and like it was just their acting, just a lot of them fully committed. There's a lot of full commitment to the roles, and I really love seeing that. This is definitely one of the films I would say is challenging, would be a challenge for actors, but the actors did a very good job of this, and there's not much I can say describing the acting without spoiling much, but I 100% recommend you to just watch this film for the acting, if anything, because it is some stellar acting from everybody, from the whole cast and ensemble. The cinematography was so well planned out. There were a lot of really cool shots that you see in this film. Like I remember there's a party scene and we see like a POV shot. Well, not really, you don't know it's a POV shot, but we see a shot looking at one of the characters through a frame, through a glass, right? And we're like looking in, peering in, and it has some design around like a wreath or something like that kind of like breaks up the screen so you can see a center focus of what we're looking at, right? And it's very claustrophobic and very focused. And so that's one of the first shots, and then it switches over to a shot that's exactly across, and there we can see what the POV was over there, and then we see one of the other characters looking in at the other character that's inside of this room. And it was a really cool like matchup of shots. There's definitely a lot of really cool techniques that they use with cinematography in this film that I feel like kind of break the rules, but it does so in such a really aesthetic way. And it works very well in terms of the storytelling. So you could tell that every single shot, and as well as like the lighting design, was very purposeful, you know, in terms of telling a story. So, and that leads into the next point about the lighting design. So the lighting design was really cool. Just immediately, that's the first thing that caught my eye, just the way that the lighting was set up. You can tell that a lot of the scenes were first thought out with the practicals, and I feel like that's very, you know, run-of-the-mill, like what you should be thinking about when you are lighting up a scene for video, right? Think about all of your practical lighting, like a lamp, the sunlight, you know, TV light, you know, desk lamp, random things, you know, like what are your lighting situations in a room, right? And then amplifying those, right? And finding ways to cheat the lighting that you don't see, but make sure that all of that lighting has a purpose, right? So that you, when you're watching it, you can like really feel like you're in the room and you're in this space with the characters. So the lighting definitely tells a story. The lighting 100% like adds to the mood and the tone and the foreshadowing. So I think that they did an amazing job with the lighting design of this film. And then the production design as well was crazy. The production design was very specific, very detail orientated, and like there's some just details that are, you know, just very real. It makes you really question whether or not it was a fake thing or if it was a real thing. But the production design was really good, and I commend the production design and the way that they played with the production design, with the shots and the lighting. Like the combination of the three was just so beautiful in terms of the storytelling. Like there's a scene of them in college at Oxford, and like they're in a professor's room, and just the way that the production design was set up on the professor's office was so, you could tell it was very well thought out, but it didn't look like everything was like super perfectly placed and stuff, and it just gave a lot of character to the room, and a lot of character to just like the setting, to tell a bit of the story behind the story, right? It gives you a lot of details about the place without you having to explain it, you know. So and I thought they did a really good job with the storytelling with the production design, and that's something I look for in my own production design when I look at, you know, my own projects. Like, what is the storytelling with the production design, right? Like, how can we give more background information to the audience without having to hand feed it and explain it to them? And this film did a really good job of that, to show kind of like the characters, like how they act, how they interact with their environment, things like that. Because like, for example, a room, how tidy someone keeps a room and like how they organize it tells a lot about a person's personality, and you could tell different things about that with the different characters. So that was really, really dope. Yeah. And then also just like there's a lot of really good technical things about this movie. The editing, you know, the choice of editing, the choice of filming it with film. I'm pretty sure it was filmed in film, and it everything just added to the tone. So I commend this film on a very technical standpoint, because technically it is phenomenal. It's also really funny. Starts off like super funny and really strong. My only like slight criticism is that like in the second act, you know, I feel like you know, for me personally, I just felt like, you know, we kind of sat in a space, and for me it was a little long because I had already kind of picked it up, but some of the people that I watched with, you know, didn't pick up certain things, so sitting in that space longer was good for them. So, you know, I think it just depends on the perspective of how you watch it and how you like the pacing. For me, I thought the second act was a little bit slow, but then when we transition into the third act, and we have like kind of like the what's it called, the climactic moment before going into the third act, it steps up again, and it really brings up that intensity again. So yeah. And not saying that a film has to be intense, you know, like the whole time. You definitely see the ebbs and flows of this film. So I think it's just a different style and a different preference per person when it comes to watching a film and how you like your pacing. So yeah, that's my only thing about it. But overall, I thought it was a really good film, and I thought it was very interesting. I would definitely recommend to check it out. I would love to hear some reactions from people. Like if you've seen it and you have comments below, please leave comments. No spoilers though. Please try not to spoil this for people, because this film is definitely a film that needs to be watched with raw eyes, and have people just experience it for the first time. So please do not spoil anything in the comments below. But I would love to hear people's thoughts, and I would love to hear your opinions of what you thought of the film. So yeah, that's it for me. So I hope you all enjoyed that. You know, I enjoyed the movie. I have a lot to say about it. So, but I found a lot of inspiration from this movie, from definitely a technical standpoint, and as well as like a storytelling standpoint. You know, you always learn from things that you like and you don't like, right? So, and that helps to formulate your own way of storytelling, right? So yeah, so there are definitely a lot of good takeaways from this film for me. But overall, I thought it was a good film, very entertaining. Definitely a lot of crowd reactions. I was watching in a pretty packed theater, and there were a lot of crowd reactions, you know? So, and that's like, that is just a sign of a good movie. If the crowd is like audibly reacting, physically reacting, like, you know you've done a good job. So, yeah. Phenomenal job on Saltburn. Highly recommend it. And that's it for me. So thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. I hope y'all, you know, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I have a different lighting design setup for this. So I hope y'all like it. I'm testing out some new lights for post for the show, and just like testing them out, learning how to use them, and, you know, getting used to the new lights. So yeah, that's it for me. So thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.